everyone, Helen McConnell here from PurposeProsperityHappiness.com. And today I want to talk to you about the happiness part of PurposeProsperityHappiness.com. Did you know that happiness is a state of mind? It's kind of a decision that we make. And it is difficult to get into that happiness state of mind, and it's difficult to make that decision when we're constantly bombarded with negative thoughts, feelings, emotions. So before we do a little tapping, I'd like to make a recommendation. I'd like you to consider taking a 30-day break from any type of news. You don't need to run and hide from the news, but I do suggest that for 30 days you turn off the news, make a conscious effort to not watch television news or listen to radio news or read the newspaper, and just see how different you feel at the end of 30 days. Now for me, I turned off the television news probably about 22 years ago and haven't watched it since. And even during the time I worked in a television news station, I didn't watch the television news because it's just a lot of bad news that most of it I don't need to hear. In fact, for 20-something years now, I've gotten along just fine without listening to the news, without going out of my way to listen to the news. And trust me, you will find out anything you need to know. That's a huge amount of negativity coming your way. So just to eliminate that for 30 days, I guarantee you're going to feel a whole lot better. And at the end of that time, you can choose, do I want to go back to that old lifestyle, or do I kind of like this? So just give it a try. What harm can it do? But the other thing that I want to ask you is, how are you taking care of yourself? There are three main things that are vital to your life. The first one is air. Not just clean, fresh air, which is important, but actually breathing, taking deep breaths as often as possible. That will change your outlook and it'll change how you feel. The next one is water. Clean, fresh water, and lots of it all day long. Again, it helps clear out the toxins that are in you, and just by drinking water, you can reduce stress. The last one I want to talk about is sleep. Are you getting enough sleep? It is imperative that you get the type of sleep that you need every night. Make it a part of your schedule to go to bed at a certain time and get up at a certain time, even on the weekends. Again, it will really help you with feeling like your life is more fulfilling. So those are just some suggestions. Now let's get to some tapping. I've had many clients come to me lately who are feeling unfulfilled, and at the core of their unfulfillment is anger. They've been holding on to anger sometimes for as long as their entire life, since childhood, and sometimes the anger is seemingly from a more recent event. I think most of us have a little anger or resentment in us, and so I want to do some tapping, because once that's gone and released, you don't have to tap in any positive. The positive just comes in. It's like it's waiting to express itself. So if we can get the anger out of the way and that negative energy, there will be some positive energy to replace it. So before we start tapping, I want you to think of an event or a person or something that makes you really angry that you've been holding on to, either from yesterday or last week or last year or from your childhood. And I want you to jot down a note, just a title of what that anger is called. It can be anger at Dad. And now I want you to feel that anger. I want you to rate it on a 0 to 10 scale, 0 being not at all, 10 being intensely angry. And write that down before we start. And now we're going to tap on kind of a global basis, because I don't know exactly what your anger issue is, but tap along with me and see what kind of results you can get. Okay, so tap here and say, even though I feel so angry, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And even though I'm hanging on to this anger, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And even though I've been hanging on to this anger for a long time, I deeply and completely love and accept myself, and I choose now to be kind and gentle with me. And we'll tap around the points and say, this anger, I've been holding on to it for a long time, because They were wrong. They wronged me. And this anger is proof of that. I'm hanging on to this anger. I don't want to let it go. All this anger. Now take a deep breath in and exhale. And if you have some water handy, go ahead and take a drink of water. And I want you to check back in with that anger and see if we changed it at all. See if the number goes up or down. If it goes up, that's okay, because it means we're tapping along the right directions. If it's shifted, that's the important thing. And if it went down, that's great too. So let's assume it didn't go down to 0. And I want you to think about that person, place, event that made you so angry. And I want to do another round of tapping. Even though I'm hanging on to this anger because they were wrong and I'm right. And even though I'm not willing to let go of this anger because they were wrong and I'm right. And I'm wanting to accept myself, but it's hard when I have all this anger. And even though I'm hanging on to all this anger, I'm trying to love and accept myself. Okay, let's tap through the points. All this anger. They were wrong. They screwed me over. And I'm hanging on to this anger. And it's a lot of work to hang on to it. I've been hanging on to it for a long time. It takes a lot of energy to hang on to all this anger. And it's really punishing me. And sometimes this anger gets out. Sometimes I lash out at people around me. And they're not the ones I'm really angry at. But I'm hanging on to this anger anyway. Because a part of me likes it. And I don't know who I'd be without this anger. And I'm afraid that if I let go of this anger, I might be saying that they're right and I'm wrong. But I wonder if it's possible to release some of this anger and not condone what they did. And I don't even have to forgive them. But I could be gentle on myself and just release some of this anger. I'm releasing some of this anger now. I can feel it shifting. Maybe it is possible. Deep breath in and out. Check back in with the thing that makes you so angry, the person, the place, the event, whatever that made you so angry that you've been holding on to. And check with your number again. Has it changed at all? I think it went down a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. That was the sense that I got. And if not, you can, if it didn't go down far enough, we do want it down to a 2 or lower. That's our ideal. I want you to watch this video again and again until that number goes down. And as the number of regarding the anger starts to go down, other things may pop up, and they may already have, like pride and hurt and other emotions. So jot a note about those and be sure and take some extra time to tap on those separately. And let's clear this issue once and for all, because it's hurting you and it's hurting other people, but mostly it's hurting you. And our illogical mind wants us to hold on to the anger in hopes that we'll hurt the other person, but we're hurting ourselves. So one of the greatest gifts we can give to ourselves is to release resentment and anger and truly become happy. I'd love to hear your feedback about how this video and this tapping may have affected your anger issue. Please drop me an email put comments below. Let me know what's going on. And if you have any questions, you can contact me, Helen@purposeprosperityhappiness.com. I'm here to serve you, and I look forward to hearing in what ways I might be able to help. Here's to your health.